Yes, them have the heart of a pagan. The children have the heart of a lion, I know. Evil a move with Satan. Righteous trod in the countenance of the Almighty One. Them have the heart of demons. The children have the heart of a lion, I know. Evil a move with Satan. Righteous walk in the countenance of the Almighty One. Poor people see hostility rising daily.
You know, young brother, it was the same answer. I'm thinking that they had independence 1776 on the 4th of July. All that is just some garbage, man. All right? Yeah, go ahead, start reading. Yeah, real loud, brother. You can come over here so he can drop seat. Start from the top.
In 1763, the colonists were basically happy. Content colonists of North America. British and proud of it. The French and Indian War has just ended. Peace reigned on the continent.
Y'all know about the French and Indian War. Anybody know about that? The French and Indian War was the French and the Indians were fighting against the British. Meaning the Native American Indians took the side of the French. And that war had just ended. They finally beat the French and damn near took control of the colonies. And they pushed them up to Canada, and they still had a little bit of land, but they really became French Americans, the ones that did stay. Okay? Read on.
What did Great Britain create in 1765 that put them on the road to revolution? The Stamp Act.
The Stamp Act. All right? Read on.
The Stamp Act was imposed on the colonists by the British government as a means to pay for the cost of guarding the American frontier.
Meaning, if you was way out in the wilderness and you had land and you get ready to grow your crops and you had cattle, the Native American Indians would roll up on you and try to slaughter you. So the British said, well, we're going to tax you, we're going to come up with this Stamp Act, and you're going to pay us, and we're going to protect you from the Native American Indians. No more than what drug dealers do for, what cops do for drug dealers. Right or wrong? Cops say, I'll protect you from getting bust or raided, and you pay me. The same bribery that America has always. The white man, he's always into extorting money. Read on.
Most colonists didn't like that. The road to revolution starts in Boston, where a revolutionary generation of colonists is working to convince Americans that independence is the only answer to tyrannous British rule.
Right, they needed to break away. That's the only way we're going to make money, and that's the only way we're going to be free. We got to break away from the British. Read on.
I like tea, you like tea. The American colonists like tea. But when Parliament imposed a tax on the, when the Parliament imposed a tax on their cup of.
Right, that's what it means, cup of tea. On a cuppa, there was a slang word that they would use. Go ahead.
A group of outraged Bostonians dumped 342 crates of English-owned tea in the harbor.
Which y'all know about that, the Boston Tea Party. Who was this group? It's going to tell you. Read on.
Which was the name of the local political group that organized this demonstration. The Sons of Liberty.
The Sons of Liberty is what they was called. All right.
The Sons of Liberty was born in the years prior to the Tea Party. One of its members in Boston was Samuel Adams. To read more about the Tea Party, see the Boston article. Boston, April 1st, 1774. King George III and Parliament responded decisively this week to the Boston Tea Party by closing the city port.
So they came and the British came and shut it down since they dumped all the tea. They said, we're going to take control of all this, and then we're going to bring in our own stuff, and we're going to make sure that it's secure and it won't get dumped. Read on. So they brought the military in. Read on.
4 British regiments were sent to Boston, along with their new Governor General Thomas Gage, who will replace the much maligned Thomas Hitchison.
Right. They replaced this other governor that they had. They just figured he was too weak. Go ahead.
Philadelphia, January 4th, 1776. In language certain to inspire patriots, and Gaul, this king in England, a declaration of independence was adopted today by the Continental Congress.
Meaning they started to write it. They wasn't actually free like they teach us. Like they celebrating the time that their Independence Day, which they really wasn't. They declared independence on July 4th, 1776. You ain't actually free. Just like black people right now, they declare that they free. Right or wrong? Right? What's the true meaning of liberty? Anybody know? Come on with it.
Liberty is sloppy.
Go ahead. I'm looking at him because he had his hand.
Like liberty is when you don't really have to answer to like you got your own government set up. You don't have to answer to another government.
Right. Right. That's around. Let me give you the. You had it. Go ahead, sis.
Free souls under God.
No, that's Lou.
Oh.
He more on it. Go ahead.
Liberty is freedom.
Let me get. What is freedom?
Freedom is without having to, you free to make own decisions on, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is, like you free to make your own decisions.
You can't even make your own decisions in the UPK. Let alone being under the law, right or wrong.
Right.
Right. You had your hand up?
No, I was about to say,
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Go with it.
I was about to say, I thought according to the white man, I mean, according to what they thought.
No, I want to know what according to us.
Oh, according to
Or
freedom.
according to you, what's freedom?
Oh, sloppy.
I know, we don't know. That's what I'm saying. We don't know. All right, then by definition, according to the white man, what's freedom? Nakamaya?
According to the white man.
Oh, according to the white man,
Yeah.
I thought it was wisdom when he wanted to make his own decisions and not be restrained from doing what he wanted to do, something like that.
Nah, go ahead.
They saying like do whatever you just do what you want to do, like while being how the white man's like say.
Here's what freedom and liberty and independence really means. When you're not ruled by a foreign people. Black people are ruled by a foreign people. We are still slaves. We are under the laws of another nation. All right? That is a slave. That is a servant under another nation. All right? The definition of liberty is freedom from foreign rule. Okay? And that's what America wanted. Okay?
Come on.
Read on. And it's just funny how it goes to show when we out there in the streets, how black people always say, well, we ain't in slavery now, we free. We free. And I know we all have heard that so many times. So I started to, research a lot of the things that goes on out in the camps. You know what I mean? To rebuttal what they always yelling at us. You know what I mean? To really give them the real definition. And black people really need to know what real liberty, freedom, and independence is. And it's when you're not being ruled by a foreign nation. Or, according to the scriptures, having strangers rule over you.
The Declaration of Independence is signed by members of the Continental Congress on July 4th, 1776. Thomas Jefferson's stirring language inspires thousands of Americans with this promise that all men are created equal. Unfortunately, not everyone in America is given the same rights as the men who signed the document. Imagine you're Jehu Grant, about to enlist in the Continental Army.
This was a slave. He escaped from his master, joined the Revolutionary Army. Read on.
In 1832, the U.S. Congress enacted the first Comprehensive Pension Act, which
Meaning later on,
Right.
they came up with this act. Years later. Go ahead.
which granted an annual stipend to any veteran of the Revolutionary War who could prove his service. Jehu Grant was one of the several dozen black veterans and one of thousands in total who applied for the fund.
But he never got it. Read on.
The only proof these veterans had that they had been part of the fight with their own recollections.
Meaning their own word. They had to say, yo, I was in the service, I fought for y'all, I was with this regiment, blah, 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 and that was it. Read on.
To receive the funds, ex-soldiers had to tell their stories to a local court reporter who sent the records on to Washington for disposition.
Now this is in 1832. Full out cotton picking, slavery, picking watermelon, bean picking, all that still going on. All right, read on.
Grant was a slave in Rhode Island.
He was a slave in Rhode Island. All right, read on.
He ran away from his loyalist master in 1777 and served with the Continental Army as a teamster. His master found him 8 months later, and the army let him reclaim Grant.
Yes. Sent him back to slavery after he fought a war. Alright? He escaped, joined the service. They find out, his master found out where he at and reclaim him, and they sent him back. And let me tell you something. During the time of this time, if a white man didn't want to fight, he would put his slave up to fight. That's one of the things they really don't tell you. You know what I mean? They don't tell you that on the 4th of July. And we're going to bring that out, you know what I mean, out there tomorrow. All right? Any more on that?
After the war, he was sold to a new master who let Grant earn his freedom.
Right. He'll eventually let him earn his freedom.
At the time of his pension application, Grant was 80 years old and blind. He made the appeal with the assistance of a neighbor. Grant's application was denied.
He blind, 80 years old, still ain't giving to you. You had your hand up?
Nah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, go ahead.
As was a subsequent plea, because he had remained technically a slave during the time of his service.
You see that?
The U.S. government in 1832 would not recognize his claim.
Yes, them have the heart of a pagan. The children have the heart of a lion, I know. Evil a move with Satan. Righteous trod in the countenance of the Almighty One. Them have the heart of demons. The children have the heart of a lion, I know. Evil a move with Satan. Righteous walk in the countenance of the Almighty One. Poor people see hostility rising daily. Ignorant multiply brutality. I see that they run gone left mommy. Fi struggle the hard road with 5 beginning. Our I see baby having baby. Nothing that happen no do.